folks? So I am taking you along on the journey for the Midwest Showcase for Project MedTech. You probably don't know who I am, so I should probably explain. So my name's Corey. If you've watched any of the Project MedTech videos in the past from their symposiums, I'm the guy behind that. I've known Dwayne for years. We went to college together. I graduated with my electrical engineering degree, and then after college I moved to Chicago to start telling stories with my camera, and that's what I've been doing ever since. I talked to the Project MedTech team, and we thought it'd be fun to switch it up this year and take you through their symposium through my lens of someone who's not necessarily in the industry, but who's still really curious about this world, and I've been able to sit in this world for the last few years. So I'm gonna be your guys' guide through this year's event in Chicago at M-Hub. I'm gonna show you guys the different areas they have here, like the room for the product showcase, then they've got their little coffee and networking area, and then obviously the panel discussion area. And then I'll kind of show you like a fast-paced version of the panel discussions, and then peppered in throughout the day there's a lot of startup pitches, and there are these things they're calling fast rounds, where they're bringing in parallel businesses that kind of run side by side with the med tech industry, and of course the networking event at the end. And then I'm sure throughout the day we'll run into a bunch of different Project MedTech team members. So yeah, let's cruise along. My favorite rooms whenever I do these. This is the product showcase room. They're showcasing all the different startups with their different products in here. There's a second room actually right over this way with more products. Just really cool, interesting stuff. But we gotta head upstairs, show you guys the last little section. That's the sponsored area where they also have like coffee and networking, and then I'll show you the panel area. So let's cruise on up there. Okay, this is pretty cool. That's awesome. Okay, so this is a sponsors room. This is where all the different sponsors are at. This is also doubles as like the networking, coffee, kind of hangout area. If the panels are going on, which are right behind me, and you need some space to talk, you can always come in here and kind of do it. Also a great place. The sponsors, at least from my observation, all are kind of like parallel industries too. There's people who can help out with like regulatory. There's some patent lawyers who are here. Just different like business solutions to what you guys are looking for. Once again, outside perspective. So, all right, panels are gonna start soon. So let's go grab some breakfast, feast, and then get into the panel discussions. Let's cruise. Killer breakfast for the showcase this year. So love the space. This is super awesome. And while I'm eating breakfast, I just kind of want to touch base on something I was talking about with the whole Project MedTech team, that the Midwest has such a like solid ecosystem for like this whole MedTech world. I've been covering this for the last few years now, but I just would have never known. Like, I grew up in the Midwest. I'm a Midwest guy. If you were to ask me, I would have assumed all these like innovative MedTech or just innovative tech industry in general was either on the coast, like kind of that typical like Palo Alto type of move. I had no idea there was so much happening in the Midwest until I started covering these things for Project MedTech, specifically coming to like their Columbus showcase or symposium, and same thing with Cleveland, now in Chicago. So I don't know, that's just something to think about. I thought was pretty interesting and cool. I was talking about with the crew. I just love that for the Midwest. But I'm gonna finish up breakfast and we're gonna start getting into the panels. Let's do some learning. All right, guys, I told you we were gonna do panels next, but I lied. We're here with Dwayne, CEO of Project MedTech. Quick question, what are you most excited about in terms of like the different discussions that we're having in the little panel discussion room?
Right on. The innovation panel is gonna be awesome. We got University of Iowa, Purdue, and Illinois, and then we have the Midwest Pediatric Device Consortium, which is going to be fantastic, and the startup pitches are just going to be dynamite. So a lot of exciting stuff.
I'll tell you what, if Dwayne's excited about it, then I'm excited about it. This is going to be fun. They're starting in like, I think 30 seconds. So let's go in and check these out. Panel time, guys. Let's crew. Oh, also, I'm gonna make these super fast paced. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it. It's gonna be boom, 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 and then I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what the panels are all about. So let's go have some fun.
Thanks everyone for being here. Super excited. 232 people was the final tally. People from all over the U.S. and we actually have a few international folks from Scotland and England. They're out there from Compliance Solutions. That's pretty exciting. We have 25 startups pitching today. One thing that we wanted to share is companies are winning in the Midwest now, especially startups. And in Q1 of 2024, 17 of them raised capital in Q1 of 2024. With that being said, we're going to kick it off with our first fast round, which will be Aaron from PitchBook, giving us a little bit update on the numbers this year so far.
All right, we're starting with some fast round stuff. Okay, so quick check-in after the fast round. So you're seeing kind of how they're doing things here. It's just real quick 5-minute interviews or presentations from people who are kind of like in these parallel businesses. So some really, really cool things for the first fast round that we had. But they're already getting started on our first panel discussion of the day, which is a venture capitalist panel, which is one of my absolute favorite things to listen to. I find this stuff so fascinating. Let's go in there and check it out. Okay, venture capital, just as interesting and as cool as I expected. I mean, you guys probably all know, they're just kind of giving a deep look into what the world is like from the venture capitalist perspectives. Now we're getting ready to go check out another one of my favorite parts of coming to these symposiums or the Midwest meetups. This is the startup pitches. These are people who are looking for investment. They're creating innovative products in the medtech space. Not only are they here to make these pitches, but Dwayne announced at the beginning of this, the crowd's actually going to rate their pitch in terms of investability, and Project MedTech is giving away some money to 3 of these different startups, so it makes it kind of even more exciting. All right, let's go see what's on the cusp of the leading edge of medtech devices in the world. I nerd out. I mean, this is my engineering background coming into play. I nerd out about this stuff, so let's go see what it's all about. Okay, I love the startup pitch opportunity. I think it's so cool. So sorry, I just wanted to kind of speed through those. I'm trying to keep the pacing of this kind of cruising along. We got a good long day, so I want to make sure the pacing is good here. But now we've got a little networking and hangout session, and then we're gonna move into our next panel discussion, and that's when we'll see you guys again. So another panel cometh. Let's check it out. Okay, so that was another fun panel. Basically, the concept of that panel is where does innovation come from? So they had people who work in incubators, people who work as like a chief innovative officer was there for a university. Just kind of a fascinating concept of like, you have an issue, you think you can solve it, but unless you have some sort of guidance through this like honestly really difficult path of bringing something like a medical device to market, you don't know what you don't know. So you need almost like a mentor or people in these positions to be able to help kind of bring you along and shepherd you along on that process. And that was kind of what that panel was about. Very, very interesting stuff. And now we've got another round of startup pitches. Again, one of my favorite parts of coming to these events. So we'll show you some cool B-roll of the startup folks and their pitches. Let's go check the pitches out. I got the recap for the startup pitches, another cool round. So really cool stuff. Now we're gonna go to the fast rounds, which remember are like parallel companies. Having those parallel companies do like quick little 5-minute pitches on what they do or what they're bringing to the table so people in this industry can be aware of it. So let's go do some fast rounds. Alright guys, the fast rounds, they were interesting. They were really fun. We had 3 of them. Really cool stuff. Yeah, first half of the day's been great. Now we're gonna go snag some lunch. Let's go do it. Well, this feels like it's officially become my little hangout table. It's kind of tough at places like this to find a good spot to kind of chat with you guys. So just wanted to grab my lunch. What do we got here? Roast beef with smoked Gouda caramelized red onions, chunky roasted red pepper spread on a brioche bun. Sounds delicious. Looks pretty good for a conference meal, I'll tell you that. That was delicious. So I just wanted to really just touch base kind of halfway through this, and I don't know, I guess just my thoughts so far are how freaking awesome that I feel like almost, I mean it has to be, everyone we've seen so far today is Midwest specific. The fact that there's this ecosystem, there's just a whole medtech device world centered around the Midwest. There's money flowing through the Midwest. The fact that there's innovation happening in the Midwest. And the fact that all these little devices and like kind of the parallel companies that are there to support these startups all happening in the Midwest. Yeah, I don't know, I just think that's so interesting. I'm also a Midwest nerd. It's kind of my thing. Kind of like a big lover of like Chicago and Toledo. If you guys ever catch my YouTube channel, it's more or less all I do is talk about how awesome those places are and how much appreciator I am of the Midwest. But anyways, I'm gonna slam this lunch and then we're gonna get back after lunch with some more startup pitches. So yeah, you got that to look forward to. Okay, we just got done with another fun round of startup pitches. Some really cool stuff from these startup pitches, and yeah, it's great stuff. Now I've got to hustle back up there because we're already starting on the next panel discussion, which is strategics. Very interesting stuff. Let's go check it out. Okay, we just got done with the panel discussion from the strategics crew. Very interesting stuff. You guys know what this is all about. We're talking mergers and acquisitions, big companies finding smaller companies that they want to bring into their community, and it's just interesting stuff. Now we've got another round of these startup pitches. So we've got 5 more startups. They're gonna pitch their companies. So let's go check that out. Okay, that was really fun. I told you guys, this is my favorite part, is listening to these startups do their little pitches. I had to get a snack. I'm getting a little hungry again. But those are the 5 startups. Now we gotta run back up there. We're doing another fast round, so let's go check that out. Okay, the fast round was very, very interesting. Now we gotta run upstairs. We got another panel discussion. This is Dilutive Capital. So let's go listen and see what these guys gotta say. So that was the panel on Dilutive Capital. Very interesting stuff. I mean, just how fascinating to listen from the perspective of angel investors as to like what they're looking for, their red flags, what they is gonna kind of give them, like turn them off on companies. And yeah, some of the best practices. So very, very interesting stuff. Next up, we got a quick break. And then next up, we're gonna do another set of startup pitches. We got 5 more. This is the last 5 before we got one more presentation and then they'll give out awards and we're gonna see some startups get some money today. So next up, we've got startup pitches, 5 more of them, gonna be fun. Okay, we got done with the last set of startup pitches. They were great, but those are the 15 startup companies that are going for the money at the end of this, of $5,000, $1,000, $500 payouts to the top 3 vote getters as voted on by the audience. So we will see momentarily how that plays out. But before that, we gotta go learn about diversified funding. Interesting stuff. We're learning all types of funding things today. This should be just as fun, just as interesting. Let's go check it out. Diversified funding, that was interesting. So essentially what that is, that's funding that you're getting that's not diluting, whether that's through grants, whether that's through pitch competitions where you're getting money. You can also find like incubators, obviously, or there's like groups like M-Hub where we're at, or Bounce Innovation in Akron. Things that you guys all probably know that I'm learning in the moment. I think it's fascinating. Now, last thing up, we gotta go check out the award ceremony, see who won the startup pitch competition. So let's go check it out.
So our $500 winner coming in 3rd with an average score of 3.72 was Gary from SonoStick.
Yeah, Gary. Appreciate it.
My second place is Tyler from EndoShunt with 3.95. And this is going to be a real bummer because the winner's not here. With a score of 4.028, so 4.03 was Jasdeep Singh from Singleton.
Yeah.
So we're going to give the award to Corey Wagner, our videographer right there.
Thank you.
I'm the stand-in for the real winner. Look at that. Look at that. That was fun. That's kind of hilarious. I get the little, I get the big boy check. The winner was the gentleman that had the dose that went to animals is moving into humans. It's like a little tiny implant that like skin grows over, and then it can release doses that day, 6 months later, a year later. Pretty incredible stuff. But anyways, now we're on to probably the best part, happy hour networking. Let's go hit up the open bar, huh? Just real quick, had to show off. We're in the middle of happy hour, and look how adorable this catering company, Top Notch. They've got these. Look at this mini taco, and then also a little sampler of margarita. I mean, come on. All right, let's try this thing. Okay, that's amazing. If you come back here next year, Project MedTech team, you need to stick with the same catering. Amazing. Killing it, catering, you're killing it. Alright guys, the networking is cruising along, but I wanted to bring Dwayne Mancini, not only one of my best friends in the universe, but also the CEO of Project MedTech, the reason that we're here, and just want to kind of button up and tie together this whole event. If you had one big takeaway from this, no, alright, yeah, let me have one. Sorry, I see crab cakes, I gotta grab them. Well, shout out to Phil, killed it with picking the catering.
Yeah,
They
he sure
really,
did.
they crushed it.
Sure did.
But if you had one takeaway from this showcase, what would it be?
Yeah, it's very clear. Based on the startups pitching today, the startups presenting down at the tables, the panelists, the fast rounds, people are winning in the Midwest. We saw 25 pitches today, and I can't believe someone chose a winner.
Yeah, no kidding.
There were some dynamite pitches all day. There's some awesome technology. It's all here in the Midwest, and I think today was a complete show off where the Midwest stepped outside of things we're used to and bragged about ourselves.
Yeah.
And dude, there are some people winning right here in the Midwest.
That's so incredible. If you guys want to find out where the next one of these events is at, it's what's the website? ProjectMedTech.com.
Yep.
There's also the Project MedTech podcast, which there's two of them, Project MedTech and Project
Funding MedTech.
Funding MedTech. And then also, of course, follow them on LinkedIn. If you're following on all those different platforms, there's no way you're going to miss the next event. You need to come to them. I've been covering all of these. They're all amazing. I'm not even into this industry, and I find them super, like, I'm just, as a curious person, I find them very fascinating and a fun place to learn at. I can't imagine what it's like being in this industry. It's probably even better. So make sure you follow those things, and until the next one, we'll see you guys then.
Can I hit the camera?
Yeah, do it.